shodo-x win!
Hey guys, welcome to the 38th episode of the Soto Pop Podcast. As always, I'm your host, the Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
Grab the handrail and suddenly brake and make a U-turn.
Did that not sound like a transformation sound?
No, you're right. That's fantastic. I'm so glad.
If you get it, you get it.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have to do it if you're dodging Paul-like obstacles, because otherwise you're gonna run into it. But yeah, guys, this is episode 38. I'm back from last week-ish. Last week in our eyes, in your eyes, we'll be posting the episode 37 late because I just had a whole lot of stuff. But hey, we have a whole lot of stuff. News! Just not as much as last week, which I'm not too sad about because that was a lot of stuff to get through on the Soto Pop news.
Ooh.
But yeah, today was basically a showcase on Jin, a little bit of Gatakiriba, and some pretty special stuff at the end. But at the end of this episode, for our podcast topic, we're going to be talking about AI-01. And I feel like we're doing this maybe 23 days late, but you know what? We got them. We like them. We want to talk about them, especially to you. And full disclosure, we had other plans to do this, but this is just how the cookie crumbled. We'll talk about it later. But first up, let's talk about Jin. And on the surface... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you weren't here last week, so what are your thoughts on them Force Boys?
Ooh, I really like their mentality of like their decisive mentality when it comes to where to put the paint and where not to, because they chose very smart portions to paint. They painted specifically the places that we probably couldn't get to ourselves, or stickers would not have done justice.
I appreciate the sort of almost hypocritical standpoint where they said, you know, it'd be pretty difficult to add a sticker to this little band.
Yeah.
Because the way they put it is just like, there's a lot of little molded detailing. It'd probably be annoying to put a sticker on that. It's like, really?
You don't say. But it's we see the problem that would cause in Valkyrie. Like those cheetah spots are strung together by metallic orange sticker, and it just doesn't look right. And obviously that would probably have to be the case here. I think the main difference if we did it on Hirobi and Jin is that you have those natural stopping points of the ends of the belts, and you're able to smooth that out a little better. But I still appreciate the way they did it here, especially since we're given, like, the stickers we are going to place are going to be on those larger surface area points. And yeah, the same carries over for Jin, because they're ostensibly the same toy, except this one's pink and has a different face. Another thing they wanted to note about this guy is that they used a very different method of molding, and it's present on Hirobi as well, but I forgot specifically what the type of manufacturing process it was called. I'm pulling it up real quick right now.
Speaking of, one thing that I just completely overlooked last week, when they showed the torso, I completely missed that it has ball-jointed shoulders.
What do you mean?
It's not the usual, like, sort of setup that they have for all the Soto figures.
You're right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's... Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
That's weird.
Interesting.
That must be because of the design, because of the weird shoulders.
Yeah, the shoulders are already set onto the... Wow, I didn't even... Wow. That's dope. And you still keep that same Soto silhouette.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted to talk about was called graining, is what Google translated it to, and it gives you that sort of hatched pattern on the metallic looking parts. And they said they can't do that on all the surfaces, obviously, but they can do it in very small areas, and it's very effective here. Especially on him, because he painted it all in silver here.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite things about this figure. Another thing that incidentally made them paint at least the back of the torso were the option wings. Now, I know there are other accessories, like the re-release of the Shot Force Rise, the arrow thing?
Attaché arrow. The only thing that's really of noted here is that they do say, yes, it's the exact same one that's with Hirobi. This is just so you don't have to find an extra somewhere else. So that you can arm both them with the weapon.
But again, the wings. Technically, it gave us a painted back, so I'm very thankful for its inclusion. Apparently, from the Toei Tokusatsu fan club, they said that there were actually 2 different versions of the wings, and that this is sort of the shorter version that they replicated here. And he says, hey, sorry, we obviously couldn't make the bigger ones. Hopefully we'll do it in another wave. But I'm just happy in general to have them.
Admittedly, I'm still behind on the show. I should really fix that at some point. The last episode I did see, I believe, was where he debuted. Were they like big CGI wings?
I'll be honest, I don't know. Whatever Google translated was gibberish, and I just did my best trying to interpret it.
Yeah, as soon as they said, there's another one, we know, we're sorry, I just thought, oh, it just must be a really big accessory.
Honestly, it wasn't, super distinct for me. I think it had something to do with, the wings were angled 45 degrees higher? I don't know. They said something about 45 degrees. I could probably go back to the episode and do my own research, but what are we, a news place? What are we, news? Come on. We're just guys that like toys. And you know what else is toys, Malunis? O's.
Oh, I was actually gonna slide something in between these. But first, I was also going to say another thing that we learned is that you can grab the handrail and suddenly brake and make a U-turn. Also, AI03 comes out on December 16th.
Yay! Oh, that's mid-month.
Yeah, that as soon as I saw that, I thought, oh, I guess that'll mean it'll arrive just in time for Christmas.
Sure, but it could also mean that, hey, I was expecting to pay at the end of the month for my purchases, but now it'll be mid-month while I'm paying for all of my Christmas presents.
Oh.
So...
someone's not getting a Christmas present.
Ooh, someone. I don't know. I didn't get to talk to you about this, but I have a 3D printer now, so I could potentially 3D print gifts. We could talk about that later, too, if you want.
For a second, I thought you'd say, I could just potentially 3D print AI03.
I could, yeah! Hey, man, if 01 can print upgrades to his suit, I can print Soto.
Yeah!
Watch me.
Oh,
yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to kind of insert real quick, just because it's related to AI03 and 04 and 05, Lady Eve, the Japanese Toku news site, posted up that there were apparently listings online for those 3 waves. Let me just bring it up because this is why I thought it was interesting. AI03, as we know, is December. Then the other one is January. And the third one didn't have a specified date, but you can kind of figure that out. The thing of note is that they're all priced the same as AI01, which had 8 boxes instead of 10 boxes.
We are in for... Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because we have so much... Like, Soto has so much other Kamen Rider homework to do within their main line that it just makes sense that it's going to be a bigger wave.
Yeah, well, it's just that it's going to be the same amount as Wave 1 is the thing as I was thinking of. Yeah. So it's like... The thing that I realized when I was putting together my theorized list is that... you now have to account for the extra bodies that they'll be including.
And I don't mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's just like, now I kind of have to do a little bit of Tetris puzzle piecing together with this setup. So what I decided was, I think that... Actually, I was right on one thing. I said that they would probably include Jin in 03. That made sense. Mm-hmm. The other thing that I think they'll include, which will probably be revealed next week, is 01 in Shining Hopper.
Really? Okay.
Because
I guess
my thought
that's
process...
the only other thing they could do.
Yeah, my thought process is they like to have the main character or the secondary writer on the front when they can.
That's true. You're right, yeah.
For January...
I wonder how long it's going to take us to get into EX mechanics, because I think we went 3 or 4 waves until we got there with building and Geo.
It's true. I think I'm going to just throw out the theory that maybe they're having difficulty with some part of Breaking Mammoth, and they're just trying to, like, figure out how to fit it... Trying to figure out how to fit it into the budget.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Like... They can take as long as they need. Like, I'm a patient person.
Yeah.
Obviously, I choose the slowest shipping within reason. Mm-hmm. So, I'm patient.
And my other theory was the AI04. I'm gonna say they'll probably do either Vulcan's form. So you have Vulcan's form, which is Assault Wolf. But then there's also, in addition to Shining Hopper, there's also 01 with Shining Assault Hopper. So I'm going to say...
Yeah, that's the extra attachment, right?
Yeah. So my guess is Shining Assault Hopper in the same wave as Assault Wolf. Then you toss in Geo Oma form and Barlux because, hey, January is when the summer movie comes out.
That's true. But we have not seen a trend where we do more than one anniversary thing in one. Oh no! That's a lie, isn't it? Because I think God Genom and blue version of Laser came out in the same wave.
Yep.
You know, I have the boxes. Give me a sec.
I was about to say yes. I do remember that.
Give me 1 second. I have the boxes. I'll see if it's in the same thing.
I can confirm it is.
Gee, that was elegant. Did you even talk to the audience while I was gone? Did you just let the ruckus happen?
I just let it happen.
Great, thank you so much.
And the only other thing I was going to add is that at this point, I guess this is where they could probably introduce the non-canon forms like Shooting Wolf and Amazing Hercules.
I mean, they could, but we also have to do, spoilers for 01, but Bowser's coming up, right?
Yeah, it's hard to really predict this far away, but... That was my guess. And also, I was already predicting February metal build. And the weird thing about him is, you know that Phantom build? Which is basically just different chest armor and head?
Oh, yeah.
I wondered if maybe they would break their rule of spare bodies just for that one because it's such a minor one. So my prediction was metal build, phantom build armor, and Kashin in one box. That's where the kind of puzzle pieces kind of were tricking me when I was trying to put together a possible box set. Anyway, that
to an extent, I understand the notion that they have to Tetris it all together. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I don't know if the other figures can eclipse basically everything else in that wave. But I did grab those figures, mm-hmm. and there were, it was exactly what I said. Build 8 was featuring shodo-x with Laser and God Genom. It had 4 boxes of it, but that entire lineup was 8 boxes total, so it took up at least half.
Yeah.
Another thing that sort of, I don't know, it doesn't like irk me or anything. The thing that holds me back from thinking that's maybe plausible is that you also have to consider, is that really an interesting wave? Like, and also it's gonna be, it's not themed, right? It has build, it has 01, it has GO. I feel like they'd at least keep everything all in one thing, and especially now since they have this commitment to giving you enough bodies, I think now is specifically the right time to do metal build and then phantom build or mm-hmm. whatever you said.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just like going by what we knew from the first quarter catalog. I didn't even think to check the second quarter to see if there's anything besides Thausa, but I was just looking at
I have no idea.
I was just looking at all the non-canon forums, thinking they've got a good few waves just from what they've revealed so far. It's like Shooting Wolf, mm-hmm. Punching Kong, Rushing Cheetah, Hornet, Scorpion, Giraffe, Hedgehog, Stag, Buffalo, whatever they revealed today.
Buffalo and Wild Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Not sponsored. But yeah, we can definitely talk about that some other time, though, however they want to Tetris it up. But let's talk about O's. Specifically Gatakiriba, because they didn't have enough time to do La Tarata and Sagozo for some reason.
It is a mystery.
Oh, yes, quite a mystery. But we'll get to that. Guys, Gatakiriba. Really? There's nothing new here we didn't already know? Outside of those considerations that were given last week about, oh, hey, the stickers, they have this different sheen on them from the metallic side to the matte side, and I really like them getting into the weeds about how they made those possible.
Yeah.
And then also basically like with Oz's face last week, how they basically brute forced the trial and error of the face paint. Like, mm-hmm. Mad props, guys. That's a lot of work, and I'm really happy for you.
The stickers,
I'm happy for us.
The stickers in particular, I really respect because, we've encountered that before, obviously, but the example I always think of is the Zhu Oger mecha, which, the mini-plow one, that was one mm-hmm. that I always kind of wanted, but then when I was looking at pictures of it, like, one of the yellow parts of the lion cube is just, like, a wall of, like, hollow plastic with a gold sticker that you put over it. And it's like, man, there's 2 things wrong with that picture.
Hey, man, if you did end up getting it, I got a 3D printer.
Oh.
I have a feeling that now, since I have the 3D printer, I'm going to be like one of those typical people, like vegan people or people that have left Twitter, always bragging about how they're vegan or how they've left Twitter. I'll just be like, oh yeah, I've got a 3D printer, no big deal. That's just going to be my uppity thing.
Yeah, none of my Transformers are hollow.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I can't. Wow, you know what? I have a Galaxy Optimus. I can unhollow him. I really like this is getting way off topic, but I really like that idea that Vangelis had a while ago with the Beast Hunters Optimus Prime, where he put, I think, just a bunch of quarters in the legs to give it some of that die-cast weight. I want to try that with something. And obviously Soto is too I don't want to say too dense, because there is some hollowness to it, but they're small enough to where I don't think that would be helpful in any way.
I feel like you could probably find a model kit to do that with, specifically with the feet, because whenever I've messed with the model kit, my immediate thought is, wow, this is really lightweight. This is going to fall over.
Yeah. But at least, if it falls over, it won't murder you. You know what I mean? Like, it won't fall off a shelf and kill you because it's too heavy. Hey, anyways,
painted head, painted arms.
Guys, look at the eyeballs, because they want you to. They spent, I don't know why, they just said specifically look at the eyes.
It's okay, they didn't rip off the face this time.
Yes, exactly. I wonder, is this PVC?
It would have to be.
Anything about
it would have to be, because it's all painted, right?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, because they could have just painted it all just to be consistent. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm 100% okay either way.
Yeah, same here. Also, again, we already knew this. The two option parts for the swords, you can either have it mounted or backhanded swords.
I can't remember if it was actually something he holds, but that's how they kind of present it here.
Yeah, he's done that.
Okay.
They did a little bit of movie magic in order to move the things that way. So there was no sort of hinge that it operated on.
Oh, okay. I was just saying I couldn't remember if it was like a holdable weapon, because I was going to say it seems like this is a little bit of a clever cheat.
I'm honestly just surprised. Well, I'm grateful that they gave us two separate ones instead of one that had the peg sticking out of it, because I'm pretty sure that's the way that
the Gaim armor,
the original combo change one.
Oh,
yeah, not the toy, I mean, they're all toys, not the candy toy, but like the actual DX. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But that's also because they didn't use a peg system. They could actually have hands that grip the thing, so they could have an accurate-looking hilt.
Yeah.
Again, I could do my research, but what are we, news? Hey, Malunis.
What happened to this? I was going to read one of my favorite quotes on there. What happened to this Photoshop image? It's weird that it comes up as Photoshop.
I guess that's like, you know how people say Google it instead of, oh yeah, use the search engine to look it up. It's kind of like that. Like, oh yeah, Photoshop. It's like it's a verb now, as opposed to a proper noun.
Yeah. Proliferation.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you want to talk about this? I don't have the words to describe the incredible feat. I just don't have the words. This is an incredible.
Mr. D delivers.
Delivers. Wow. Okay. That's pretty good. He delivers, or he was delivered 20 Gatakiribas. And if you would like to, and again, the links to this are in the description down below, or if you're on Anchor, it's in the description of, not just Anchor, but if you're listening to the audio version of this, it's in the description. Our coverage of this has almost all the pictures of the Gatakiriba mess, like the swarm of bugs. So go ahead and check those out if you want to see it. But if you want to do these yourself, there is a Gatakiriba challenge hashtag that the Soto blog created. So if you're doing this, if you are committing to this, use the hashtag. Make it worth something. Let the guys over at Soto know that what you've done with your time and money.
I was about to just leave it at, let them know what you've done.
Let them know what you've done.
Yeah, because as I was thinking about the Gatakiriba challenge, I was thinking, yeah, that would be pretty cool. What if someone just displays every single combo?
Yeah. What if we don't spend too much money on Gatakiriba?
What if you add 120 of these boxes to your cart?
Yeah. What if there was just a box full of Gatakiriba? Well, we won't be getting one. But it as a joke, like in-house, apparently, they just gave D-Man... I got a notification. They gave D-Man just a box, like, your standard Soto box, but then he opened it up and there were 5 total O's halves in there.
And then the follow-up image is just 15. He
wanted more.
This will not do.
No, obviously. 5? Yeah. Are you kidding me?
To be honest, I was looking at that and I was, my first thought was, I gotta see if this is real. Not this is definitely a thing that's happening. I gotta see what the context is. But I was just thinking about it afterwards. I could see that possibly being a premium Bandai thing where they're like, we're gonna make you pay a little bit extra so that we produce more of these.
Yeah, because I feel like, being in its own set, there's going to be some sort of unevenness to the distribution. And, like, these are distributed sort of like cases, I'd assume. Like, you have a set budget for this many boxes of a wave, of a box, really. And you separate it, to make it the most profitable. Like, we have to move some accessories around or something within a box to get everything out there, and I'm wondering if Gatakiriba is like dead center right in the middle of profitability and value, or if he's taking a hit and given less budget or given more budget. I don't know. So it's really hard to gauge doing something like this.
I imagine people are going to have a hard time completing their Tato Buzz because this will sell out faster than the Geo armor bodies.
Yeah. And you know what? I personally am fine not owning this many. As much as I would like to contribute to the hashtag. Because, I want to let them know that there are English-speaking countries, I guess, that do enjoy the work they do. But I'm definitely not doing this. I can do that some other way.
I am fine with just letting the blog be the lead.
Yeah. I do not want to top this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do. I just don't want to get to a point where I'm comfortable with that kind of purchase.
Yeah. You've already got the Guardians, you're fine.
Then again, if, just one happens to pop up a Mononoke, I could just pop it into an order and, yeah, hey,
AI02
not
is
all,
basically
though,
out.
because they wanted to talk about AI02, which, they just said that it was out.
Yeah.
But something's coming. Wait, no, we already talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, well...
Yeah, we are, okay. Yeah, we blew our load. Metal Build is coming, and it's at retail.
No, we didn't really talk about AI02 in this news. We've just been talking about O's.
Oh, no. I don't know what you heard of what I said, because I hear some lag, but, Oh, hello?
Yeah?
Oh, okay, cool, yeah. By the way, if you heard us fumbling around through the lag, it's because I didn't edit it out, because I was too lazy. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically skimming over AI02, their coverage of it, because we know everything we need to know. We've already bought it, and it's going to come to our houses, and we're going to enjoy it. The plain and simple, that's how it's going to happen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but they bookended it with metal build coming to retail.
Confirmed.
Yes, confirmed.
For retail.
Obviously not in this set, but it's coming, and they knew that we wanted it because the surveys said so. So if you want your voice heard, fill out a survey.
Yes.
That's how to do it.
Okay, so all this time I've had a picture pulled up of the original Rabbit Tank Hazard Form Soto pictures.
Mm-hmm.
That head doesn't have a separation line where the toy should have it.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you're saying, yes. But on the other hand, it's like... You know how that runner... or have you gotten a Hazard body before?
No.
So, as far as I can tell, the two halves of the face come on one runner. So, if you wanted to print out another tank head and then a different tank head, the original tank head is already connected to the sprue that the rabbit head is on. You know what I mean? So, they'd have to make a new sprue, and why split it up into two if you could just make it one and make it look better, technically? I mean, you could still use the same connection point on the back half of the head with the two holes there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, my thought was just that I wonder if this is a new mold.
The face is. I don't know if anything else is.
Yeah, it's hard to tell at this point. All I could really say was the color seems a little bit more metallic, gunmetal color, compared to the pictures I'm seeing, which look like black plastic.
Well, yeah, that's true. But on the other hand, it's like, okay, we're just gonna inject some shinier gunmetal.
It looks,
or maybe since the price went up, we got some extra stuff on it.
Maybe. Oh, that could be a thing. Is the price went up, so they're like, screw it, let's just make new parts.
Yeah, but no, like obviously that's sort of what ballooned the Soto Plus into such an endeavor, right? And they had to completely redo the gamer body. Yeah. So here, I'm pretty sure this mold is sturdy enough. It was only 2 years ago that this was being used, and it was only used 2 times.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, I think with however many times Transformers reuses a mold, I think they could run a third one on this, like a regular run, a third regular run. You know what I mean?
It's definitely more recent than the Ride Trooper was.
Yeah.
It's just the only reason it comes to mind is because of Phantom Build, where I'm like, it would make so much sense for them to just, at the very least, just make an alternate head and torso, so they can just be like, you can just pop off the head and like remove the torso armor and then swap that out for something else. Yeah,
but also again, like I was saying earlier, this is the version of Soto that's gonna give you enough bodies. I don't think that they'd give you a swappable situation. Well, I mean, you could conceivably swap it, but they're gonna give you the extra body.
I mean, yes, but also just from a design standpoint, that would probably also make it easier for them. Just like produce one body and then 2 different armors that he can wear.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it wouldn't be like the most cost efficient, and I'm sure that they're considering it, but they've made this dedication to us, so I don't like these guys are the ones that committed to not just giving us one colored Onk arm, they gave us that smear. Or like that, they use that different smearing technique on the arm that's more expensive. They would not compromise. There are so many points in this process where they said, we will not compromise, and we got exactly what we wanted. So I don't know, they haven't let us down. I don't think they would again.
I'm also gonna say, I haven't even seen the Cross Z movie yet. I will eventually.
Oh my god, dude!
And I'm behind on a lot of Toku stuff, but also, I especially have not seen the Grease one yet because I don't think that's subbed yet. So I don't know the exact context of this character. Right now, the most interesting to me is how they're handling the Soto figure, because otherwise, I don't really find this design interesting at all.
Yeah, for real. I just want it because it's Build and I love Build. Yeah, and that's really all the reason I need.
It's another writer for the series.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, you know, I mean, I get, you know, we can say it. We play with our toys, and it just adds another character to play with.
Yeah,
you know, this could be if you didn't watch the movie, you could drop this into your collection and say, oh yeah, this guy, he has the power to summon all the other hazard bodies because he has, I don't know, for whatever reason, he's something special or whatever, and he's evil.
Leader.
And he can summon them all. And you can reuse your existing ones as minions or drones or something to fight against Bill. Like, there are just fun possibilities to be had with this.
Leader of the Guardians.
Exactly. Ow. Oh, I'm back.
I also
my brother was handing me my Apple Pencil from under my door for some reason.
I forgot to mention this before when I was proposing the possible.
You're proposing? Congratulations!
Thank you, AI05. So when I was trying to figure out Metal Build, Phantom Build, and Kashin, I had this one thought. I was thinking, I wonder if they'll insert a second Kashin just to fill out a box. Because otherwise, if we're going with even numbers here, it's like they got to fill out the box with something. And if Kashin is one to a box,
you know what though?
You'd forgive him,
huh?
You'd forgive him if that were the case.
No. Wait, what did you say? I think I might have missed it with lag.
You were saying, you know what? And I said, you'll forgive Kashin?
Oh, I thought you meant G-Man for making the decision to give us 2 of Kashin. And I was like, why would I have to? No. The blog did say, hey, when we re-release it, we're going to sort of cut down on this guy. And we're going to sort of basically give you less. We're probably not going to have the weapon or something, and there's going to be less pain. Well, what if they split him up into 2 boxes? Give him enough of everything. And we still have the 2 halves. And, like, I wouldn't mind it because they have the mold already. They could make 2 cheaper boxes that they could sell to us and give that budget to someone else.
That also works. But I was going to say, they did confirm that they were going to include the weapon.
Oh, they did? Oh.
They basically said, just so you know, the weapon will probably be included with another figure.
Well, shoot. I have this extra one for absolutely no reason. Okay, cool. I guess I could do, I don't know, I'll make a Aquaman or something and then give it that. Whatever. I was saving it for nothing. I'm upset. Well, fine. Hey, yeah, so that was it for the news. Unless you wanted to touch on anything else.
I forgot what they if they teased anything at the end. All I know is that more 01 next time, I guess.
They teased something, but it's another one of those like those teases that aren't really teases.
Oh right, like
they didn't have any information.
More 01, more O's, I think it is.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, what do you expect?
Hey, it's just I like to kind of book in the news with that. Just like, hey,
that's fair.
Next time.
Yeah.
Kashi.
But yeah, that's really all that's confirmed so far. Hey, Malunis. You got some toys that I got as well.
01. Yes.
01. Yeah. We got AI01. These are great figures. And you know, we can approach this with two different perspectives. Like I have yet to sticker them up because I want to play with them as if I was someone who didn't like stickering or was really against stickering and just wanted a base figure. But you stickered it, went the extra mile, customized a little bit. So like I am bare bones basic, and you are a little bit more on the hobbyist side of how you collected these.
The way I thought you were going to put it is, I'm a little bit more relaxed, you're a little bit more tense.
That's fair.
and because it's like, nope, I got to add more detail.
No, that's fair. Like I was at that point where you are for a long time. I have so many Legends class Transformers that have paint on them. But then, it got to the point where I was putting so much paint on that rubbed off immediately, and I was pouring so much time into this and, training my eye to make it as best as I can that I forgot that I actually wanted to enjoy it as an action figure, and I couldn't because of all the paint that was on it.
And to be fair, I will say it's not always, in my case, a case of, it's not accurate enough. It's just like, I like to make mine a little bit more personalized, make them look a little bit nicer.
That's true, and I get that too.
There are specific cases, like when a Transformer is like, this is the 16th car I've gotten now that has unpainted tires or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not tires.
Oh yeah, sometimes I would definitely go in with the silver Sharpie or Gundam marker.
Always the rims.
And just do up those rims, yeah.
Anyway,
but yeah.
Where do we begin?
Let's talk about the building process because I have some pretty good things to report.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, if you're building a model kit-like thing, you'd want to use a side cutter to snip off the parts from the tree and then shave it down with your X-Acto knife. But here, they made it so that the way the sprues or the trees are connected to those parts, you can easily pop them out. Sure, it would help if you did a little bit of post-processing there, but right off of the gate. Not right out the gate, but like actually off of the gate. Right off the gate, they are perfectly serviceable, and they molded it in a way where the connections to the trees are on the not painted parts, because sometimes they do that, and you get the crisp paint apps still.
That was clever.
I want to commend them for being so smart about how they molded those.
I had forgotten. I think they said something about that before, and I just forgot about it. So when I was opening,
probably, yeah.
So when I was opening, it was like, that's a pleasant surprise.
It was, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, push and twist friendly. I'm reading off of my notes because we took notes. Let's see. Did you have anything out of the box that you noticed? Oh, you know what? Another thing I noticed is that it's still gum and it's not candy, and I'm upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten
so it's trash. The set is garbage.
Yeah, no, I've gotten a couple recent things from Soto build, so I can confirm. Yeah, that gum is still pretty bad.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not good stuff.
To be fair, in both cases, I think it's still just like, this is like a bare bones generic candy, but the whatever, I don't know what you would call that other one, the hard candy. It's better.
It is, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's like a sweet tart sort of situation.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like a big sweet tart, except it doesn't have flavor. It's just sugar.
I mean, it does have that. It's like ramune flavor. If you've ever had
it is. I think it is ramune.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that on the
at
box.
this point, we're actually reviewing candy. So,
to be fair,
I mean, it is Candy Toys.
I was about to say, to be fair, that's literally half of the brand name.
Yeah, you're right. So I guess we could spend half the time on candy. You know what? This show has spent 0 time on candy. I feel like we need to even that out at some point.
Mm-hmm. So, as far as building it goes, I do appreciate the instructions. They are much larger than before.
They are, but I mean, like you have so few stickers that there's a lot less to fit in there, really.
Mm-hmm. And
also, this is our first time without the dummy head, and I absolutely do not miss it.
Yeah, literally the only benefit of the dummy head was with the Geo armor bodies, because that's like a mid-transformation thing.
Yeah, I get that, and I love that when they use that for grease and cross-charge.
Oh.
Yeah, because they gave you the dummy head, or the sort of naked heads.
Oh, nice. That's clever.
Yeah, those are great. So sometimes they serve a purpose, but most times it's nothing.
Yeah.
And hey, also, even before putting all the armor on, which was a fun process, the chests themselves, like the proportions on the chests and arms without the armor on them, are so well done. Like if you look at Geo, if you look at, well, I guess not even build. No, yeah, build Geo.
They're gonna look like Sochak Henshin
that
figures.
Came before, huh?
They're gonna look like Sochak Henshin figures.
They are, yeah. They're actually gonna look like they're missing chunks of meat.
Yes.
There is meat removal on those, but here with 01, without those, there is no meat removal. Like it looks perfect.
Like I even took a photo here where I just used like the shin and thigh armors that are basically armorless from the other forms, and just did not have the chest armor on, and I thought that actually looks fine.
Yeah. No. You sent a really nice picture into the thing where you you basically just detailed all that out. Like it is a sleek body.
Yeah.
And it's getting us closer to a base Soto figure, and I'm really hoping at some point they release a base Soto figure.
Yeah, just candy toy. What was it? Body-chan.
That would be dope.
Someone,
and you could do a wave of it with the Shodo one, a Soto one, and even a Yudo one.
Yudo one.
Yeah. Yudo one.
Be the one. You the one.
Be the one. So yeah, this is a really nice base body, but what it does is it makes the armors a little. They feel lighter, but they don't feel weaker. If that makes sense. Like they still feel sturdy enough to where it can take the loading and unloading. Also, key benefit here. Well, it's not really a benefit to the size of the plastic, but like a lot of the points where you're swapping stuff out, you're not having to contend with stickers because there are just so few. If you look at 01, if you look at, or not 01, if you look at Geo, if you look at like specifically look at Deno, there's a lot of places where stickers collide, and I've had some mishaps with ripped stickers because I extended a joint in a way that made the shoulder armor dig into the sticker. You don't have that here, and that's just, by virtue of how simple 01's design is.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a fact. I mean, this is coming from someone who hasn't put the stickers on, but like I know that stickers don't go there, so.
Yeah. And
I think this is good.
Providing my paint perspective, it's so good that when I was looking at the 01 body, I was considering, okay, this is the one that I would be like repeating this process with the most. And I'm glad that really the main thing that I did was just paint the belt strap, I mean.
Yeah. And then also, you had notes on shoulder armor, and I did too. So I was hoping that I was the only one that had those notes, but this might be a running problem. Why don't you go ahead and say it?
So speak
to that.
The thing that they described when they announced all the changes they were making was that they were making the little hinge for the attachable armor pieces a little bit wider, and they were kind of decreasing the size of the notch at the top, so it's easier to kind of swap it out. I can definitely feel that. At least in the case of Flying Falcon, it feels like they overcorrected it a little bit because it easily pops off.
In the case of mine, it's 0-1, and that's detrimental because I actually don't see. Oh no, I don't see the red shoulder armor on my 0-1. That's cool.
Oh, you lost it?
I mean, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh man, see, this is what happens.
Yabe!
Yabe. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Machika.
This is what happens. Oh! What was that? I don't know what just fell. But,
it's because you moved the soda box earlier.
Yes. The shoulder armor is just, it's disappeared. And it will do that because the connection point is just so weak. I did not want to be made an example of. Why me? Are you kidding? Okay, talk about something else while I look for it.
Okay. Let's see. One thing that I really like about this 0-1 set, and it's mainly because of Vulcan, is the swappable limb gimmick. That's actually really fun.
Get 'em! I have thoughts about that. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
While I'm excavating, but I have thoughts.
Possibly negative thoughts, because I was going to put some positive ones up front.
Go for it.
I think that it's a very good way to kind of streamline armor swapping, because it just means, just going to swap the arms. There. It's like, for example, with Biting Shark, you have the shoulder armor as well, the forearm armor, which is very tight. So it's like, if I want to put this on someone else, I'll just swap the arm.
Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of instances with other lines where I just wanted to be like, oh, I just wish this arm were over there, and that would make my life easier for whatever reason.
And also, I look forward to when I get Punching Kong, because I don't know about the right arm, but I know that at the very least the right leg is just like a white armorless leg, and I think that'll look very good with things like Flying Falcon, where it's just like alternate thigh armor.
Man, I'm not seeing it. I don't know.
Which one was it? The Flying Falcon?
When I lost it either, huh?
Was it Flying Falcon?
No, it was 0-1. The one that you shouldn't lose. Small, black, and thin. Okay, show must go on. Hey, let's talk about some negatives of that, because when I was putting my Vulcan together, the connection points to those the ones on the legs, it's tough. Ooh. It's really, it's too thick, and it must be like a tolerance thing that varies from person to person.
Yeah, I was telling you with my notes that I did not encounter that specifically. But
yeah, I saw that.
But I definitely...
So my notes specifically, they say Vulcan's detached limbs are a little scary to get on. The leg specifically seemed harder to get onto the peg, and there's not enough clearance for it to rotate about the peg smoothly. And then I, said if you use it enough, if you load it and unload it enough times, it'll weaken out. But it does feel a little too solid. There. Which is a shame, because as it stands, it feels like I've... Oh no, it doesn't feel too bad anymore, but yeah, it's really unfortunate if you're building it for the first time and you can't quite get it to function properly. It's, I don't know, it's a little bit of a nuisance. But
speaking of, with Vulcan, I was so delighted when I opened up the white body half, and I was just like, okay, what do I need to do for stickers? Nothing. I just got to paint the belt strap.
Yeah, good time. And I gotta say, if we want to start diving into specific ones, and I think you said it too in your overview, but Vulcan feels like the most complete experience.
Yeah, because you get well, the thing is that you do get 0-1's weapon, and you get it in both modes, but it doesn't feel quite as accurate as Vulcan's weapons.
Yeah.
So
and those aren't as fun really. At least to me, because the mounting point of the
attaché caliber.
Yeah, that it's so far forward or so far up that it doesn't quite look right.
That's what I was trying to get at with the attaché shotgun when we saw that. I was saying it didn't seem like it was quite accurate the way he holds it. And now that I've looked at pictures of it again, it's pretty close. It's just suffering from the same handle problem that this is.
Yeah, which I really wish they could give us a little bit more material at the top of it, like give us like a block to simulate what it should look like, and then the fist. But maybe that would create too much of like a cantilever beam on that little area. So I understand why they, for toy safety reasons, why they might have needed to get rid of it.
Really, the only thing I want is just a complete handle, and I was just kind of staring at it like, I don't know what way you could do this other than add a little bit of I don't even know if this would add to the budget, just making it two separate parts that kind of peg together, but also that might be small parts.
That probably would. It might not be, like, it might be long enough, but it might not be, like, thick enough to pass.
What do you say, 3D?
Is what I'm thinking.
What do you say, 3D printer man?
I'd say that this would be an easy thing to do, and it's definitely on my list. I would also I opened up
just real quick on that. I was going to say also consider making the sword a little bit larger. I
was thinking about that. I also opened up my Thingiverse account and uploaded. Oh, hello. I uploaded some of my previous designs on there. If you are interested in getting Soto scale things or Yudo scale things for your own 3D printer, I don't know how to turn the sound off of my iPad, so I'm just gonna.
I was about to say someone's really excited about your Thingiverse account.
I guess so. Yeah. So if you want those files, they're up for free on Thingiverse.
Nice.
So yeah, I spent a lot of time in my head thinking, should I don't know how to, like, I obviously put work into this, and I want to be able to sell it, but on the other hand, it was like, well, I know people want this, and I want to make it available to people. It'd be really crappy to have a paywall in front of it, because I did work hard on this, and I do want people to enjoy it.
Yeah. So that includes the Ryu Soldier Sword?
Yeah, so far it's the sword and the Pandora box. I'm still gonna... I'm thinking of uploading... I made a Denji Spark ring a while ago. Yeah. And that can be scaled up to whatever size you'd like in your own 3D program. So if you want one, you can print it.
Nice. I really want to promote Tokusatsu stuff on 3D printing because that is such a small specific demographic.
It's not as big as Transformers, and I want a breadth of options.
Because when I would look for things on Shapeways, it would just be like, hey, someone made the Wizard Buckle. Boy, that's expensive. Someone made the Kachidoki orange that you only see in the show. Boy, that's expensive.
Yeah. You know what? That's not too hard. That's a few polygons. I might do that.
I think they might have charged it just because it's got so many little angles. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I might be able to make it and put it up on Thingiverse if someone wants to.
And also, there was I think it was also available on Thingiverse. Someone basically just made a custom ghost icon peg plate, so that you can just cut off certain pegs to make it trigger certain sounds.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that was very off topic. Is there really more you want to say about this set? You know what? Let me check my notes.
What do you feel about Flying Falcon and Biting Shark?
They're fine. Honestly, I love Shark the most. Falcon, I'm very iffy on. I mean, really, it just comes down to aesthetic. And what I can say conclusively is that Soto has gotten their craft down to a T in terms of recreating suit designs, because what I like and dislike about the toy is what I like and dislike about the actual suit itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, it translates beautifully. And also, that being said, I don't really like the Falcon one.
That's fair. The color is one that I am of two minds of, because it's like, I like the kind of bright pink, but something about that specific shade just kind of doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, the shark is easily my favorite.
Yeah, I also like these two being in the first wave because they kind of give you different styles of 01 forms, because one has shin armor, the other has thigh armor, and one of them has forearm armor. It's like you get a little bit of variation of what they can do.
Yeah, so I definitely like that.
And
let's see. The cuts on the arms and legs, or no, just the legs that they put in. I don't feel it. They're not as present as I was hoping. I see them. But I don't find myself using them as much as I wanted to. Like, I don't enjoy the new cuts in the armor and in the legs and stuff as much as I feel like I should. Because they did a big push for it.
It's like the way they described it was a very slight increase in articulation, and I think this is it's like you said, it's not something I'm going to see myself using very often, but it's something I can at least appreciate for the craft.
Definitely.
Like they were actively looking at it like, yeah, this is pretty good, but can we do better?
So I, like you were saying in your notes, I definitely appreciate that they are trying to make it better. But I don't know. It's
you see it a little bit more with the display stand, which we will get to in a second. But first, I was going to say, on the subject of like extra bodies, I was thinking about this before the set even arrived, but then when I had it in hand, I could kind of confirm my thoughts, which is that there are a few ways you could go about this if you don't want to like have everything displayed, if you want to embrace the armor swap gimmick. One is that you just don't apply the specific stickers to the feet and the back of the shins, and it's just like, it's a little bit less accurate, but it's less trouble, I guess. Another way is that you do just have like basically a dedicated extra body for form changes specifically, or at the very least the legs.
Oh, okay.
Because the convenient thing here is that you can just swap out the legs.
Right. I mean, that's interesting in that you are creating your own play pattern experience.
Yeah, it's,
you know what I mean?
It is also valid for people who aren't buying the box set and are just like piecemealing it.
I don't see that as viable on any platform. I don't know who would be selling it that way. You know what I mean?
Well, there are people who maybe don't want... there might be people who have opinions about Flying Falcon like you do.
That's true, but how would you obtain half of these things and only one base bot? You know what I mean? I mean, if you really didn't care about Falcon, like there's no problem in leaving the armor on it.
Well, I'm also, I guess when you're factoring like importing prices, then it starts to get like, you might as well buy the box.
Yeah,
but if you're,
I mean, like,
but,
you know,
but if it's something you're just picking up at a store.
Yeah, and I mean that's if Soto's a small audience, the people picking these up at a store is an even smaller audience, at least in terms of like a Western standpoint.
Right.
So if you do that, more power to you. Like, I'm glad you have the convenience of buying these in store, but that's just not the reality for most people right now.
So the display stand.
I think it's nice. I think it's a nice, like, that's where it seems like a lot of the R&D went into, or at least the noticeable R&D. I guess what we've been talking about isn't really noticeable. But the stand is definitely a very visually different thing.
Yeah. Like if anyone missed it when we talked about it before, basically they've been using the same display stand mold or at least a pedestal, since the beginning, and it at this point is just degraded so much that they decided to just make it a new one.
Yeah, and I like it.
Yeah, and also an improved strut, which has a little bit more, again, very slightly improved articulation.
I'd say it has greatly improved articulation.
Definitely
the range on that.
Definitely in the case of the top part.
Yeah.
And also the fact
and
that
really, that's mostly all you need.
Yeah, and the fact that they can connect.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't like this option for whatever reason, there is a news point we didn't get to, but there is a candy toy display stand coming out.
Yes. I meant to say that before.
You want that.
I meant to say that before when we were talking about the base body. The promotional image apparently included a base body of some sort.
Yeah, that's why it was in my head. There was what looked like a base Shoto body.
Yeah.
That I am so interested in. Thank you once again to Adit Nuva for pointing out the initial Twitter post on it.
The way I saw it was just a Japanese Twitter user that I follow basically saying something along the lines of, just released a figure.
Yeah! Cool. Definitely do that. Oh, wait, that's what we could put into the suggestions. Like, honestly, I'd love a canvas to just do what I want to. You know what I mean? But yeah, anyway, display stand is great. The amount of mounting points for the arms and stuff or the hands and stuff, that's cool. Mm-hmm. The peg that stores the arm, though, really not useful.
I have not even used it at this point.
Yeah, and again, it's another thing of like, we're a Western audience who imports it, so we have access to everything at the get-go.
Yeah.
At once. We're not a kid who just bought this and was like, well, I don't know what to do with it. I guess I'll plug it into the stand.
Well, alternatively, you could potentially use that if you're just like, I'm going to put aside Shooting Wolf armor for now, so I can put Punching Kong onto this body. That's the only...
Yeah, if you want to be that guy.
I was about to say, that's literally the only reason I would do it, and I would probably only do it because I don't feel like painting the one base body.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I appreciate that they give us enough, points to put everything, and that was one of my major complaints during GO, was that the stand didn't have enough stuff for, if your figure came with a little too many accessories, there just wasn't enough space for them. And here, there's plenty. There's certainly plenty of space for everything.
Yeah, like even with the sorry, I just lost a little bit of shoulder armor on the floor. I'll look for that later.
Oh my god, which one? Is it Falcon?
It was a Deno Axe form.
Oh.
Completely unrelated. Anyway,
yeah.
The thing that I appreciate about the display stand is that in this way, if you get the attaché caliber in 2 different modes, I was able to find places for them on the stand.
Nice.
Like both of them. Anyway,
wow.
I also, personally, I just appreciate the simplicity of just making a small change to the hands. The peg holes for those, just because it's like, the problem I had with them originally when they introduced the alternate peg holes on the display stand was, this is just 2 additional round holes on a strut that has like 5 round holes on it.
Yeah.
And they're also, the swappable hands are like slightly different peg sizes, so you get into this USB thing where you're like, does it plug in here? No. Do I plug it down here? No. Oh, it plugged in the first one after all.
Wait, Cyclone.
Joker.
There we go. But yeah, I get, and I appreciate this method, even though you sort of still get that. I'm glad they put the L and the R in the most unreadable spot.
I could see it.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had enough light, I could see it. It's just so obscured. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, like, it's AI01, a really good sampler. It will give you everything you need to, like, it is a perfect starter thing, and I guess, obviously that's why it's the first set. If you buy this is your deciding thing. Like, if you like everything this is putting out, if you like everything we're saying, buy the set. And if you have it and you like it, keep going. If you have it and don't like it, this is what it's going to be like for the rest of it, so you might not want to ride this wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is the perfect set to start with, even if you're listening to this like 10 years in the past. Or past? No, the future. 10 years in the future.
What's Reiwa?
If you're listening to this 10 years into the future and you're wanting to get into 01, and for some reason you decided to stumble upon this podcast, I would say, to the best of your abilities, try to pick this up.
Yeah.
And decide if Soto is for you.
Yeah, and the way that they're kind of just, maybe it's because it's a new series, so everything feels new. It feels like they're really rushing through with these first 3 waves. So these first 3 waves are giving you all the different riders in their default form, so that's works out nicely.
Definitely. And really, if you're watching the show and, you have a kid who is, I don't know, a little older, and you're enjoying the show with them, this is a very cool, like, Loot Crate's gone. This is a very cool, like, monthly Toku, I don't want to say investment, but like a monthly Toku subscription service if you just pre-order the things at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I approach Soto sometimes. Like, yes, my monthly thing of cool stuff that I get for this show that I watch. A
little bit sooner than a month for December.
Yeah, and honestly though, this is a pretty good gift. It's priced really well. They did not up the price like other companies did in the looming price of the price increase of plastic production in China, I guess. So this is pretty good. This is good stuff.
3,200 yen for AI01. I had that written down because of the news.
Think about it though. You have 4 action figures for, what'd you say?
3,200 yen.
Yeah, and then, you tack on shipping to that. I mean, it's $10 a figure, and you get a really sturdy figure. You get a building experience that's streamlined and fun, and intuitive. This is an all-around fun experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
all right.
It's technically a little bit more screen accurate than RKF right now.
Yeah, for real. And if you don't like stickers, you don't have to do it. At least for this first set. I guess for the next few, you're probably gonna have to.
I was about to say, at least for Rising Hopper, it's basically like RKF without stickers.
Pretty much.
But without rubbery weapons.
Yeah. Anyway, Malunis, did you have anything else you wanted to say about these guys?
No, this is just like with Geo, this is a very good sampler wave.
Cool. All right, so guys, we put out the last episode late, so I hope you enjoyed this extra long episode of the Soda Pop Podcast. If you like this episode, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about all of these guys, or if you're listening to this past January 1st on YouTube, there might not be a comment section. So go into the Discord, because we are bending to the will of the FTC, and we're not going to have our none of us want to pay a $42,000 fine So go on into the Discord. A lot of you guys are already there. Talk to us there or on Twitter. And we're going to at least continue to try to put out all the episodes onto Anchor and distribute it through iTunes, through Spotify, through Google Podcasts. Everywhere you want to listen to a podcast, there we shall be. Except for maybe SoundCloud, but whatever. Yeah, so guys, thanks for listening. Keep it juicy.
Wow! Hey! Da! See ya! I love those Google translations.
Great, okay, good.